the analogy I use is we're sitting in a car and we've got to go forward. So the person outside shouts at the driver, put your foot on the accelerator and go. And at the same time, there's somebody sitting beside you with a handbrake on. And what you've got to do is release the handbrake a bit. I was not convinced that the government was up for that, because there's some tough decisions you've got to make around risk and security and the stuff that typically politicians don't like to juggle with or mess with. But what I've seen in the last 3 months is three things that's given me great confidence. Number one, the name and shame regulation. It was coming down the line and it was going to be a disaster. Anybody out there who knows this industry will know that was a disaster waiting to happen. That's been canned. Secondly, the Payment Systems Regulator and the FCA will be combining forces. It's a smart thing to do to get efficient and effective regulation and supervision. And the third thing is, this morning, the FCA launched its 5-year strategy. To say something as positive as I'm going to say is a bit rash, but it's an excellent strategy document. The PSR set open banking up to fail because it mandated that there was no money in it for the banks. So not only is it true that the payments have to be free of charge for the consumer, but also that there's no commercial model, no business model around making those payments. Therefore, if you're a company, in the case of a bank, and you know that if you encourage consumers to pay through their credit or debit cards, they make 20p, and if they pay it through account to account, they make minus 3p, what's going to happen? So they're incentivizing the wrong behavior. So the only thing that's going to achieve a breakthrough here is not commercial VRP, because that's nice, that's kind of moving long-term subscription services and direct debits away from that to other things. It's about making sure there's enough money in it for the players. People in the UK sometimes don't like to talk about money. I mean, I just have. But if they don't like to talk about money, they need to. It's got to pay. It's got to reward the participants in the value chain for participating. Otherwise, guess what? They don't. I'd say there's two things to think about when we look at ESG. One is, what are we doing in the industry? So 6,000 people here over these 2 days. How inclusive are they? How focused are they themselves on their impact on each other as human beings? How sustainable are their employment practices, for example? We have a great bit of work being done by our working group on ESG that's looking at issues such as accessibility. Not just bias, but how do you then encourage people for whom participation in events such as this is not normal or difficult? So one of the things we do, we have a little ticker across all the screens that instantly translates a very well English accents, less well French and Scottish accents into English instantly, so you can both read it if you can't quite hear it. And the most important impact, of course, is on the world around us, the users, and we've got to look at the technology, the power that we take, impact on wasted cards, the cost of manufacturing things that are integrated into actually running our payment systems, the IT systems themselves. It's exciting for me because, I started this in my back bedroom with just me and a computer, and to see initially the first Pay 360 had 147 people, and we're growing 50% a year, and honestly it's just because we've got the right surfboard riding the right wave, and that's about all, and the right people. I've got the right people running the surfboard, and if we kind of stick with it and payments continues to grow, then this event, as we've been growing 50% a year for the last 4 years. That's what I'm hoping is going to continue, or rather that's the targets that the team's signing up to. Payments is a global phenomenon, but it's deployed locally. So we think there's some really important things that payments enables, that enables economic growth, corporate growth, improvement in society, but also helping improve lives everywhere at an individual level. But there's some things that are stopping us, largely to do with complexity, pace of change, regulation misalignment, political power being misused and things like that.